The Involved Parties tab is where we add offenders, victims, witnesses, suspects, etc. To add a new involved party, I'm going to click the Insert Record button here. And by default, I get the offender as the person type. I can click this button to go to master names directly, or I can type in a name for a search. If I type in just a name, it'll do a master names record search for that name, as you can see here. But it only searches my last name. I'm going to search for myself. For more information on doing master names information searches and entering master names, please see the master names video. I'm going to select myself here, and here you'll see a bunch of information is already filled out because it came from master names. Now I'm going to point out the things that are different from master names, and that starts off down here: offender, complainant, unknown, vehicle association, and proof of financial responsibility. This information is vehicle related for crashes, so I'm going to ignore that, but offender, complainant, unknown, I'm going to make myself the offender of this case. And then I have a suspected tab, and I'm going to make myself the arrestee. I wasn't suspected of using drugs or alcohol, and I could list any potential injuries here. The next series of tabs, demographics, description, identification, and notes, all come from master names. Some of them allow me to fill out information which will update master names, while these other two do not. Down here at address and phone, this comes from master names, but it does allow you to update the information here, and it will update master names. Additionally, driver's license statement, employment, and associates come from master names. So for more information, see master names on how to enter that information. I'm going back here to the address phone tab because it's important to note at the bottom here there's an IP address area. This is the involved party address at the time of the incident, or the report. At the time of the report was taken, this was the address. So in the future, as the master names record gets updated, this address will always be the same. It's the location where this person lived at the time the report was taken. So, given that everything else was filled in from master names, we have two tabs left to fill in here. We have an offense link, which I'll go ahead and link to the offense right now. This is the offense that was filled out from the offense tab over here. And then we have the criminal charges tab. I'm going to go ahead and hit the insert button here. And if I go to offense, I have one choice, and that's the one that I filled out in the offense tab here. If I need to add additional ones, I can actually add them from here by hitting add new record, and it does the same thing it did back here. But I'm going to charge myself with this grand larceny, and felony was filled in from the offense tab there. If there was a citation, I could fill it out here. This is the charge date and the issue date. Disposition, I'm going to say arrested, and citation, I'm going to call it criminal issued by me, and I am going to be on a no bond. If I had a bond amount, I could fill it out here. Warrant charge, I'm going to go over this in a separate video of how to fill out a warrant-only arrest or with warrants, but if I checkmark that box, it gives me the ability to fill in this field. And so this offense code remains, and so it's for grand larceny, and then I could fill out something like a hold for DOC or some other agency. Resulted in arrest. This is very important because this is what makes the charge show up on the arrest and booking sheet. So if this resulted in an arrest, or you want it to show on the arrest and booking sheet, make sure to check mark that box. There's a field here for number of counts and disposition dates. I can also take notes about this specific charge. Next, I have citation information. This is about traffic information, and then there is court information. If I wanted to put some court information, I could hit the insert button, fill out the court, the case number, and all of this other information. Okay. Now, what I did there was forget to hit save, so I'm going to do this over again. It's really simple. Resulted in an arrest. And there we go. I can insert as many charges as I want to. So In the warrant example that I'll be showing, you can have the same offense code and then enter the warrant as many times as you need. So it looks like I'm almost done here, but I did arrest this person, and so I need to fill out the arrest information. Moving along the bottom here, we have some buttons. We have a print request for authorization, and that looks like this. We have a print detention button, and we have citation information, which is for traffic offenses. We have an option to clear this arrest. There's a print button, and then a process questionnaire button. I have different questionnaires to fill out here. And so if I wanted to answer these questions, does the victim think the person will try to kill the victim? Yes or no? I'll say yes. And then it automatically takes me to the next question. I don't have to hit save or anything. It automatically saves the answers. So I'm going to exit out of that. Alright, and I purposely skipped this button because it's going to take us in a whole new series of things to fill out. So now I go to the arrest information for the offender, who in the suspected tab I said was an arrestee. So I'm going to go to arrest information, and now I have a series of new tabs to fill out on a new form. The arrest date, multi-arrest indicator, I'm going to say that's not applicable. This is not a warrant arrest because I didn't fill it out as a warrant, so this will be an on-view arrest. It was an arrest and it's clearing the incident. I'm going to check mark that. Was I armed when I arrested myself? No, I wasn't. And arresting agency, arresting officer. I'll put my information here. Did I have a Miranda witness? What was the disposition? Let's see, it cleared the arrest. When was Miranda read? Was I fingerprinted? Were photos taken? Where did the arrest occur? Was this the same as the incident location? I'll check mark that and it fills it in for me. Down here at the very bottom I have the ability to print any of these. And then I have the ability to do an additional questionnaire related to booking, and this is the medical evaluation. Juvenile runaway information tab here allows us to fill out this information about juveniles or runaways. There's a facts of arrest tab here. This is an important one. This is your statement of probable cause. Who entered that statement? Detainers can be filled in here for the holds as well, but they will not print on the arrest and booking sheet. So please note that if you want those to print out, use the checkmark box for warrant and then type in the hold next to the charge. But that'll be covered in the warrants video. You have deputy clerk, notary information, and judge magistrate information you can fill in here. There's also a check mark for warrant on file. There's booking information, which will come over from the jail JMS interface, as well as mug shots. I'm going to save this. And now I have an offender here, for which I'm ready to save their information. There we go. O for offender. This check mark indicates it's an offender, and the reason that column is there is because we could have a victim who is also an offender. Let's create a victim now, and we'll make it, I'll be the victim and offender here. Once again, I get all of the same information, except for now I have a victim relation tab. If I check mark the offender checkbox, I get all the other tabs as well, including the victim relation tab. Okay, so now let's go over to that victim relation tab. I have the victim type. This could be an individual, society, business, or something like that. The LEOCA stands for law enforcement officer killed or assaulted. Not killed in action, so it's killed or assaulted. And so if I check mark that, I can fill out all of this information. The injury information as well as the assault homicide information here are for assault crimes. The offense relationship here. This victim is related to this offense. And then the relationship of the victim to the offender. Well, didn't actually build my list here, so I'm going to hit rebuild list. And hit yes. Okay, there we go. Now I have the offender information here. And so I'm going to check mark the box, and then I'm going to either click the change button or double click the relationship area here Then I get an ellipsis button. I'm going to click that. And I'm going to call myself an acquaintance to myself. Of course, I'm just being silly here because you're going to have real names. Okay, and that's it. So I'm going to save this. And now I have the offender and a victim. The victim was not also an offender. You might have something like a domestic violence case where you have 2 victims with the offender checkboxes checked. And it shows some basic information about me here. You can add as many involved parties as you like.